Hi, this is Julian Stout, licensed personal trainer, licensed PE teacher, and world record powerlifter here to help you be the best you. Today's topic is, why is it so hard to eat properly? Well, there's a few reasons. Obviously, we're going to deal with things like dopamine levels, chemicals in food, sugar per se. But the thing that I really want to touch on to make y'all really understand why is it so hard to eat right is because many of y'all are not aware of the appetite to caloric intake equation, right? This is not in the books, by the way, but this is something that I've used to be successful in training my clients long term. So, as y'all know, if y'all have been following me for a while, you would know that there are 27 different body types, not just 3. However, in each of those body types, what we have going on is a situation where you have one of the 3 in your body type. So for instance, if you are a classic endomorph, which is a larger body composition than other people, you tend to hold on to weight more than you do tend to lose it, right? So the first step is, what aspects of your body type exist? So you can be an upper ectomorph and a lower endomorph. So what that means is that your upper body might be skinny. You might be as thin as a rail. You might be olive oil on your upper body, but your lower half is Bluto. And what I mean by Bluto, I'm not being disrespectful here. I'm talking about specifically just girth, right? You're large from the waist down. Specifically, as a matter of fact, this is not universal to only females, but it tends to happen more to females than it does male, right? I've seen men with lower endomorphic structures with upper mesomorphic structures, but I've in my time of doing this, I've never seen an endomorphic male, but it does happen with females. So in that process, what's going on is that if you are endomorphic of any kind, then you should pay attention to what you're putting into your body in a certain fashion, right? So, for instance, what I'm looking at is, let's say you are a upper ecto, lower endo. That means you tend to carry most of your weight on your lower half. Even if you are at a higher density of muscle mass, that means you then still have to mind what you eat because you tend to gain more mass on your lower half. So, but if you are an ectomorph or a mesomorph, it is a little bit harder, or a lot harder, for you to put on weight in various portions of your body. You tend to evenly distribute your weight, but that doesn't totally go into the appetite calorie equation. So the appetite calorie equation is simple. How many calories are you supposed to eat in a day to sustain your body as it is? So for instance, let's say you weigh 160 pounds, and let's say you are not obese or you're not overweight based on your body fat percentage. Let's say you'll need on average 2,000 calories a day to sustain your body as is. If you are endomorphic, you might want to be careful with what types of calories you eat, whether it's carb, protein, or fat, right? Your ratios, you still need all 3, but your ratios tend to change as a result of that, right? So within that, the appetite calorie equation is now, yes, I need 2,000 calories a day, but I get hungry every 2.5 hours on repeat like clockwork. So what happens is that now you have to really watch what you eat, because you can't load at any time. You can't front load, you can't back load, you can't middle load. There's intermittent fasting may not be your best friend if your appetite calorie equation is high calorie, high appetite, right? So if you're high calorie, high appetite, then the probability of you being successful in losing weight, if you don't understand your equation, comes down to simply staying within your caloric balance and eating every 2.5 hours, which means you have to divide 2.5 hours over the course of a 16, let's say 12-hour day. So you need 12 hours a day, 2.5 hours each. You're looking at roughly about 5.5 times a day you need to eat, but you could only eat 2,000 calories, which means every meal cannot be any more than 350 calories. If you're exceeding 350 calories with a high appetite, high caloric intake, then what's going to happen to you is you're going to gain weight. All right. Now, what if you have a high appetite, low calorie intake, which means now you're at 1,500, right? You're at 1,500 calories that your body needs to sustain itself. And on top of that, you have a high appetite. So that means, again, 5 times, that's 300 calories now, right? So you're looking at closer to 275 calories per meal in order for you to maintain your weight as you are. On the flip side, low appetite, high calorie intake now puts you in the category of, let's see, low calorie, high intake. So let's say, again, 2,000 calories and your appetite is low. You tend to eat maybe 2 to 3 times a day. Now look, guess what? You now have anywhere between 1,000 calories per meal if it's 2, and if you tend to eat 3, now you're looking at 700 calories. So you're looking at 600 and some odd calories, right? So that means each meal that you eat could be 600 calories and you won't gain weight, which is why the myth of people who eat and eat and eat, but they don't ever gain weight is a myth. You will gain weight, but the problem is that most of the time they don't eat as often as other people tend to. So, and obviously on the low end is low calorie, low appetite equation. You're looking at, let's say again, 1,500, but you only eat 3 times a day. You're looking at 1,500 calories. 500 calories per meal. Or if you eat 1,500 calories, you're looking at, 500 calories. So, or 2, you're looking at 750 calories. So just that portion alone is going to put you at a greater advantage if you know your appetite to calorie equation. So the first step is that you need to know what your baseline metabolism is. I will be posting your baseline metabolism equation in the thumbnail, but at the same time, there's a simple question. How often do you get hungry? So once you figure out how often you get hungry, the range is simple. Anywhere between 1,200 to 1,500 calories is a low calorie intake diet. 1,500 to 1,800 is a middle calorie diet. 1,800 and beyond is a high calorie diet. And once you figured out your appetite to calorie equation, I'll give you the magic numbers on that as well, so that way you can rate yourself. And when you do rate yourself on that equation scale, you will now know the best way that you can help yourself lose weight effectively, because there's the other half of the equation where you need to now put yourself at a deficit from your baseline metabolism. right? So, which goes into another story, by the way. Actually, you don't need to go less than your baseline metabolism to lose weight. What you need to do is, if you want to make it a little bit simpler, you're what you want to do is exercise beyond your baseline metabolism. So as long as you eat your baseline metabolism and exercise regularly, you will lose weight, and you will lose effective weight. Then obviously the laws of diminishing returns kicks in, and then after that you need to be able to eat more. I would say, depending on what you're trying to do, if you're lacking energy, increase your carbs. If you're not improving your muscle density, increase your proteins. And if you are tending to fizzle out quickly, then you need to increase your fats, right? So with that being said, and that's good fats. We're not talking about just complete saturated fats in your diet. There has to be a higher balance of polyunsaturated and unsaturated fats, as opposed to just simply saturated fats, because that'll help your cholesterol levels and also improve your cardiovascular ability. Because if you if you find yourself in a position where your cholesterol is high, first of all, find out if it's LDLs or HDLs. If it's your HDLs, you're good. If it's your LDLs, probably not. All right. So once we have all of those things figured out, now losing weight will be a lot simpler for you, as opposed to the up and down yo-yo struggling that we tend to do from time to time. And also, it will help you be the best you. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Have a nice day, and be the best you.